Bow, 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 bow. Man, you have no idea how refreshing it actually is that I know that nobody's watching my videos. Because then when I have like a day where I have like, kind of a lot of brain fog and I am like, kind of doing a lot, just like doing a lot of beating around the bush, if you get me. And yeah, it's just like more convenient for me so I can just, yap, yap, yap and not being concerned at all. But even so, I shouldn't really care. So again, it's more for me. But anyways, now I want to do some chart analysis of today's chart because yeah, I'm still doing this project. It's the third day, 7 days left, and pretty soon I'm going to finish this bitch, and then I can go back on track and fucking ball out of control. Now, anyways, let's first of all open Forex Factory to see if there was like some high impact news going on today. All right. Now, when we look at today's news, so we're like, some things going on for the euro, and a bit of the USD, unemployment claims, but everything on the afternoon. So it wasn't like really affecting for the session I usually trade on. Euro, what was the news there? Nothing big, no changes. This is actually less than the forecast, and it seems like yeah, less is good for forecast on something which is like was like kind of high impact news, unemployment claims, and besides that, yeah, it wasn't like going on that much. Holy shit, this is okay. This difference of the action to forecast is very big, so I think could be kind of concerning. Okay, so we know there were some kind of high impact news for today, but it shouldn't, concern us if I would have traded today because it was on the afternoon. Well, maybe it could, have some kind of impact regarding the volatility. But it was on the afternoon, like so, like let's say kind of a bigger gap, um, from usual where I trade, but still not to be too chill on that, not to take it on the easy shoulder if you get me. So first of all, let's draw the areas on just the different sessions. Um, Asia session, Tokyo opens, London session, and New York session. All right, there we go. So now let's look on at the daily bias. Now daily bias was surprisingly like the price action wasn't like very big. Now for me when I look at this candle, it actually looks like it was at the beginning bearish. Mm, but then proceeded to go to the upside. Yeah, pretty sure. I mean, look at this. It opened here and it's probably going to close somewhere around there, and it went up till here. We see the wick. So it was probably bearish, the daily bias, and then it shifted over the day. So let's scale down to the 4 hours. What do we see in the 4 hours? Damn, kind of hard to take these apart. What do we see in the 4 hour? It looks like kind of a area of accumulation because now it's like kind of consolidating. Now yes, there was like this little dip down, this liquidity sweep, but it's kind of choppy, but it's also kind of consolidating. Now we could assume that this was here a break of structure if you look at this low, but there wasn't like happening didn't so literally nothing happened there when we look at this and it break the structure for this low. Now perhaps it might be order block, and now it's filling orders only to go actually down to proceed the market shift, because when we look at this low on the 1 hour, it's like obviously the candle closed, and it was kind of now it was going below, and now it's obviously be going back into this area, into this older block. But because we are looking this on higher time frames, this is only it only matters for the next few days. So for the trade today, it doesn't really matter. So now let's keep scaling down. Now just look at today's charts, what happened on today. So now we see, okay, it went up, then it's kind of consolidating, going, it's kind of choppy, pretty iffy if you ask me. And now where Sage Asia session opened, it just went straight up down to the downside, like straight boom down. Now, what does this mean? Now, let's keep scaling down on the 30 minutes. Still not enough to see if you ask me. Area for accumulation, 50 minutes. Yeah, it's kind of choppy. Like we just have like this pretty huge area of accumulation. So I think tomorrow will go up and then down again. Going down, filling out orders like here, this area of accumulation, and going up again. But anyways, we don't care for now. Now let's go to the 5 minutes. So we know when we were looking at the daily buys at this point, it was pretty sure bearish. So with the bearish daily bias, we can maybe use the London session fake out. So now we see it's going down. Holy shit, look at that. Now it's going down and it's building new lower lows on the ASUS session, and then, you know, it's starting to go up again to build new higher highs. And then what happens? London session opens and then it keeps going up, and then what do we see? Higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, higher lows. We see right there a break of structure right there. Then then what happens after that? Of course, order block, boom. Structure was got broken, or just a great structure with this candle, and then it went up again, like filling out the orders. Now, to be honest, I think I personally probably would have entered right there in the combination with the daily bias, and this order block, like liquidity sweep, um, London session fake out, and also the order block. So then, with this break of structure right there, I probably also would have probably placed a stop loss above these highs. So this means because the stop loss is like kind of bigger, like greater, I would de-risk this trade like a mid half or low size or low lot size. So now we entered. So where are I going to place my different take profits? Of course, always what do we do? Always sorting out different areas of liquidity. So we have liquidity right there, right here, and also right here. So let me draw these different take profits. First take profit, second take profit, and last but not least, third take profit. And it actually took out all three take profits. So this is a very clean trade. Now, of course, market shifted, but I think when we use the London session fake out, it doesn't really matter that much what daily buys we have. I think it also depends when it is like clearly on a bearish or bullish, and also when we see chart is not that iffy or that volatile, then we can actually stick with the daily buys. Um, but of course, the thing is when you want to go with the daily buys for the whole day, I think it also depends if you want to go for the whole day, then you should also look for different things. But now when I think more about it, then I actually think the daily bias matters at this moment where the session is, or what session I'm trading. Like looking at the previous session, if the let's say the main movement of the candle from the daily buys from the daily time frame was built up from the Asia session, and then it's going to maybe rebuild on the next session, then yeah, they're like, let's say, different variables you have to look at. Now you also have to be honest, by using the London session fake outs, like also to go against the daily buys. It's something new I have to learn, and I get kind of confused, and I need to sort out, those thoughts and also the strategy. But right now it doesn't matter that much because it's still, the bias still goes a line. It still, goes with the bias, and it actually turns out to take out all the profits. So I think it's something I need to, get more used to it by just literally, market experience, because this is something new I've learned. Like still taking a trade on choppy markets, and when the daily buys have like high probability for a shift. So now, long story short, for our London session trade, this was very clean. Oh, oh man, I actually could have, um, used this low, the previous low, then also to have like even a better entry. Like looking where price is trying to go, like we see here, break of structure to the downside already on this low, and then boom, filling out orders. Now, well, actually doesn't matter that much because it's still, goes. I still would have probably, picked the same entry. But the thing is, what is different on this trade is that I'm going to use the break of structure, like using those just execution based on the confirmations which are created throughout the London session. Because in the past it was always like that I was like looking at the chart at 30 minutes before London session opens, and then looking, for building blocks. And then if it goes a line, I would have, opened my trades like literally like somewhere around there, because then it was, price was trying to the place I wanted to by using the building blocks, partly from the Asia session, and then taking the trade within the London session, if you get me. So right now, I think the only difference right now is regarding also, of course, with the if the iffy market, and also with the when there's a high probability for daily bias shift, then it's like literally a delay on where I'm going to use the building blocks, the retracement tools. So I think this is something new I gained awareness over, which makes sense to me. So good for now. Something new. I got clear about it. Like not only that I can take trades when daily buys has like high probability to shift and market is kind of choppy, and on high time frames there's like more area for consolidation. We still can take trades on the smaller time frames, um, but only with the difference still sticking up with my strategy, but only delayed. Like, but still in the same, but still like overall sticking with my trading plan means still taking the trade and also hitting all the take profits throughout the London session where I usually trade. Makes sense. I mean, it even took out this low, but yeah, this is something. It's like kind of more gambly if you ask me. So I would be totally chill with this trade. I mean, look at this. This is a clean ass trade if you ask me. And when was unemployment claims? Right there. Yeah, it actually moved price up. So, yeah, kind of hot one because on Hypack News it's too close, but I clearly would not have done this if it would be on FOMC, PPI, um, CPI, NFP, and stuff like that. But right there, yeah, I think we are getting somewhere. I'm getting more knowledge and awareness over the whole game, step by step. So means I can, like, let's say, increase the trading opportunities, so I'm more flexible, if you get me, and I'm not limited anymore. Which doesn't mean that being limited is particularly bad, because when you have like a very 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 tight and strict trading plan and strategy, to maximize the probability for to take a trade, then this is good, because then you're probably going to win every single trade, but you can't trade every single time, especially when high impact news is going on, like the tariff thing, and the market is choppy for weeks. Because something I actually forgot, there will be times where you don't can trade for weeks because you just don't see any setup at all. So with that being said, I think I was able to learn something new, gain awareness for on just gain a new awareness on that, which was good for me. So Overall, little summary, recap. Trading plan and trading strategy still being strict and tight with that, but you know, only thing which is new is that using the retracement tools and the building blocks a bit delayed by using them while charges the prices while price action in the London session right there with the movement using the building blocks and then finding the setup while London session is creating the the price movement. So yeah, this is like I would say today's lesson. And yeah, I think as soon as I can go back to the challenge and pass it, uh, just go back to the challenge after I finish the project, then just overall life is going to be good, man. What can I say? Life is going to be good. So yeah, with that being said, cheers.